Hiya guys, it's Waz with a tutorial. Right, I don't often do these, so you're very privileged. Alright, I've just tried to position my camera in a way that I can work on my board, and in front here you can see what's going on. Okay, so the tutorial I'm going to go through today is this wood effect that you can see that I do here. Now there's many ways to do this, so I'm only going to show you the way I do this. Okay, now feel free to go to McDonald's and go get the wooden stick stirrers and steal them, obviously once you've made a purchase, and use them. Okay, but in this type of modelling, okay, the wooden sticks, once you get paint on them, they don't really turn out like this. Okay, they look like rough plastic card. Okay, and they don't look as good as this wood effect that's going on here. Now this wood effect is handmade. Okay, and this is how I do it, and I'm going to talk you through doing it because I keep getting asked over and over again how I do it. Okay, so hopefully the light is not killing this. Okay, but there you can just see, okay, this is all plastic card. This is from my Warlord Titan. Okay, my Warlord Titan Ork style. All right, this is one of the top platforms I make. I love doing metal and wood together because when you paint it up, it just looks so good, and you've got like metal parts interlinking with the wood parts, especially if you're doing some sort of like armored vehicle and you've got all the armor going on all around it, but then you've got the wood planks sitting on it as well, and it just makes it look like, you know, oh, orcs have proper thought about it. But then, oh yeah, we'll add some wood here. So yeah. So the way I do it now, I hope this works. So I'm now no longer looking at the camera. Okay. So what I'm on my little desk thing here. Okay. So what I use first of all is sheets of plastic card, which is this stuff here. Now there's two ways you can do this. Okay. You can get some quite thin stuff, or you can get some quite thick stuff. Now I've used the thin stuff before, and now I think this is 0.7 mil. Okay, my measurements might be wrong. Okay, but I'm just trying to give you a general idea of the thickness that I'm using. Okay, so this is 0.7 mil, which we're not going to use today, but I'm just showing you. Sometimes I have used this thickness here, so if that's all you can get hold of, there's no harm in using it, but you just have to be careful. Okay, so I'm just going to put that to one side. Now this thickness here is 1.5 mil, I believe. Okay, and it is fairly thick, and it's the best I found at getting what the desired effect I need. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you use some really awful knives for cutting plastic card. I've seen people using stuff like this. There's nothing wrong with it. Whatever suits you guys, it really is up to you. But I'm a good modeler, okay? And if you're trying to learn from me, then you need to listen to what I tell you. All right, because then you'll just stay a mediocre modeler. If you want to be a good modeler, I'm not saying I'm the best. There's a lot better modelers out there than I am. Right, you need to listen to what we're trying to tell you. Now, the first thing I'm going to try and tell you is your model knife. Okay, your model knife and your model blades, they need to be sharp. I make one model and I probably use 2 or 3 blades for that whole model. Okay, they need to be very sharp. If your tool's not sharp, it fights against you. It works against you. Okay, so you need to have a good, strong model knife. Now, I found these knives. These are like scalpels that that are used in the medical industry, and you can get the blades for next to nothing. Okay, the blades. I'm actually just looking right now for my blades, and I can't see them anywhere. Right, but the blades come in packs. Okay, and you can buy anything from about 10 blades to about 150 blades, and if you pay a tenner, you can probably get one of the handles and 100 blades. Okay, now 100 blades will last me a couple of months, but they're great. They really are good, and like I said, if you've got a blunt blade, it works against you. Right, so what I do is I measure out a plank size, and I try and keep the plank size relative to the models. So the scale has to be not too small, or else it becomes a nightmare making the wood effect, or if you make it too big, then it looks stupid. Okay, so you've got to try and find, you know, the in-between bit here. So for instance, my in-between bit, and I'll measure it, is 5 mil. Let's call it 5 mil. So if you make it 5 mil from there to there, 5 mil, sorry, wide, and I do this by eye. So, and then all you do is score it. So people was asking me about how I cut my plastic cards so well. Metal ruler, sharp blade, and you score it gently to start off with. Score it gently again. Then you keep adding pressure, keep scoring, adding more pressure. All right, and that's scored. So what I do now is, using my teeth, I break it all the way along, and that last click you heard then was it coming off. Okay, but it's not finished yet. What happens now is if you feel the card, what you've just cut, you can feel a ridge. So when you're scoring it, it's splitting the plastic apart, so you get like a ridge. And the easy way to get rid of the ridge is put your blade flat on the plastic card, and you just draw it back, and you see that plastic that's there, that's come from the ridge. Okay, and again I turn the card around, that's come from the ridge again, and there's a ridge on the other side as well. I can feel it. So you're just getting rid of the ridge. That's all I'm doing, getting rid of the ridge. All right, and again, just be gentle. You can go back and forwards. See, that's the ridge, right? So I'm just making it now flat and smooth. Okay, so that's that bit. What we do next is, you don't need to cut it into planks yet. You can do that at a later stage. But what you need now is another blade. This is my dull broken blade, and I save them. It's quite a decent blade. It's not the same as my blades I'm using in these. Okay, this is a blade that was used in a different modeling knife, but it's that type of blade. Okay, I think I got these from a hobby shop, and once I finished using them, I put them to one side because they were slightly different. They're a bit stronger. Okay, but if you look at the end, you can see the end is no longer there. If you compare it with that, there's a tip on this one, there's no tip on that one. Now that's quite important with what's about to happen next. So what we do now, and you're not going to believe how easy this is. All right, so I'm not looking at the camera anymore, so I'm working down here. You score it. So I start in the middle and I score, and you can see a piece has just come off there, and I score it again. Another piece has come off there. So you can see I'm scraping bits of plastic card off. And what you'll find on the actual card is a shiny surface. Now I haven't got my lamp on here. I have a lamp next to my work desk, and I've just turned it on now. So now I'm looking at my card and I can see it's got a really shiny surface. I'll have to take that off because you're going to get blinded by it. So all I'm doing is trying to get rid of that shiny surface and I know, and this is how quick I do it. Okay, I go over it and over it and over it and over it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, and I get rid of that shiny surface, and I go backwards and forwards, but I don't pull the knife back. I'm always going in that direction. Okay, always going in that direction. Reason being is this knife, okay, it does a different shape going that way. All right, and it just makes it more difficult. So if I keep the scoring in the same direction using the same blade, all right, it should, in theory, be quite a good wood pattern. All right, and like I said, I've done this for years now, and it's never failed me once. Okay, so try to show you that. So you can see now on that wood effect is pretty good. Okay, I can just make it out on the camera myself. Right, so it's not finished yet, right? But you can see how much stuff now is on the actual board. So I'll get rid of that. So what I do now, is measure the distance I need. So let's pretend it's that far. How easy that I just did that then. I should have explained it really. Okay, so all I did then was I made a little score with the knife and I broke it off. That's how easy sometimes plastic card is very good to cut. Right, so now we've got the plank that's almost ready. What I make sure as well is there's no overhanging bits of plastic. Again, I scrape it nice and gentle, so I'm not scraping too much of the detail away. All right, so I've rounded off now this part of the plastic card, and what we need to do now is make it look like wood. Okay, well, like broken wood, I suppose. So we just do a little bit of chipping, and this is the bit you need to be careful because you've got a sharp blade. You don't want to be giving any blood to them gods. Again, a little bit of chipping. Just make like little V's. That's all you need to do. And just turn it round if you need to get to the other side. Okay, so now that, I'm hoping you can see it, that is your wooden plank with the chipping on the end of it. And that's basically all I do. So the key ingredients is find yourself a model knife, which this model knife here goes to one side. It doesn't get used for anything else other than making wooden planks. Okay, can't stress that enough here. I only use this for making wooden planks, scraping it that way. I know the direction which it scrapes the best. I found that out. Sometimes you could, I suppose, if it's more comfy for you, to scrape forward, but I find it easier and quicker to go like that, and it works great. But like I said, this blade is only used for making wooden planks, and believe it or not, this is my last wooden plank blade. I don't have any more of these blades left, so when this blade breaks, I'm gonna have to go buy some brand new ones. Okay, and I think they're quite expensive. I think they're £3 for 5. So once I've bought some of them blades, I'll have to blunt them, and then I've got another wood plank blade left. Okay, so like I said, this is only used for wooden planks, so it goes to one side, and it only comes out when I'm making wooden planks. And hopefully you will then produce wooden planks like this. I don't do the underneath. There's no point. If you've got a model that you can see both sides, then obviously you would. But this part of the model sits on top of something and you can't see underneath it. When I paint it, I do paint the ends, okay, but I don't make the ends into wood grain. Don't see the point in it, okay. But gone blurry, sorry. But yeah, this works. These work really, really well. And hopefully you will get that same result. And again, guys, you're not going to get perfect the first time you do this. This takes practice. I've been modelling now since I was 13, okay, and I'm now old, right? I'm now 47, I think, right? So I've been modelling for years, okay? I've got years of experience. This stuff just doesn't come to you overnight. You've got to practice, all right, guys? And yeah, don't get disheartened if you don't get it the first time. Practice. Practice. That's all I'll say to you. Right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. It's not very often I do these. I've done these at great request. John, I hope you're happy now. Okay, guys, I will speak to you all later.